Okay, so we're going to continue on with our module lectures. And the one that I want us to continue with now is about planning activities that promote engagement, and that includes large and small group time. Now, as we've talked before, one of the keys to preventing challenging behavior is to ensure that children are engaged with activities, they're engaged with their peers, and they're engaged with adults. We've already talked about how to build relationships with children on an individual basis. And adults should also plan activities in ways that will promote engagement. And there are two keys to this. The first one is to use both small and large group activities. And the second one is to ensure that activities are designed and adapted so that all children will be able to participate in a meaningful way. So, one of the common problems that teachers have is challenging behavior during large group activities, and it's difficult to keep all children interested throughout circle time. So, we're going to discuss some suggestions about how you can increase the likelihood that all children will be engaged. And this can be talked about in basically two parts. The first part is planning the activity. So I want you to consider the length of time needed for circle time relative to the children's ages and abilities and to the types of activities that will occur during the large group time. Now, I've been to several schools where I have seen children ages 3 to 5 sitting in circle time for 45 minutes to even almost an hour. Now, that is way too long for circle time. There's no way you can keep attention of all those children for that length of a time. That's just really inappropriate. In fact, how many of us could sit there for that long? I don't know about you, but I need to get up and move around. So think about that. Secondly, have a purpose and be clear about what it is you want children to learn during this time. Third, don't do exactly the same thing every day. For example, you can teach concepts during large group in a variety of ways. For example, you could use puppets, role play, stories, songs, visual aids, and even discussion. You want to vary these activities from day to day. You might also do repeated reading of the same story for several days, but use puppets one day, and the next day use a flannel board on the story, and the third day have children role play the story, but all from the same story. And then don't just do circle time, but use it as a time to teach new concepts. This is especially a good time to teach social skills and to support children's emotional development. The second part of this is implementing the activity. You want to make sure all children have opportunities to be involved. So you might have everyone hold a character from the story, or if you might have the characters on a little wooden stick, and so everybody holds one of those wooden sticks. Or you can have children do things with partners, and that way it might ensure everyone being involved. Make sure you assign jobs for children who have a particularly difficult time during circle time. One person could actually be the book holder, or one person could be the page turner, and that might help them to stay tuned in to the activity. Vary the way you talk and the intonation of your voice. As we know, if we sometimes even whisper, it can really make a great effect for the children. And then have children help lead the activities. That's fun for them. And then pay attention to children's appropriate behavior, as well as the function of their behavior. Remember that if they are wiggling and wandering around, then the activity is probably not interesting to them, and we want to move on to something else. So look at this particular setup for circle time. What do you think about it? What do you see that might be good? And then what do you see that might not be so good and might create this to be a very challenging environment? I see several things that could definitely be changed. How about this circle time? What do you think about it? Here's some ideas on how to structure large group. And for instance, make sure there are cues for where children should sit. There might be the child's pictures in front of where they need to sit. They may have carpet squares, maybe certain spots on the rug, some kind of a Velcro line. On this picture here, before it has the children's names all the way around the carpet for where they're to sit. Make sure you do poster boards, or you can do poster boards for each activity of group time, so there's a visual display for children to focus on. So you're going to actually make little poster boards, and I will show you some examples of that in a minute. Have props and materials. You might have big books, you might have song props, a magic wand, a motor cube, maybe a quiet and crisscross pictures, so it gives them some cues of what they're supposed to be doing. You could have name cards or a job system of some kind for picking children for jobs, so those are just great ways of things you can do during circle time. So here's some of those examples of posters that we talked about. On this particular greeting time, the children's names are here, and they say it is to say full name and their address when their name is pulled out of the pocket. Here are the rules, and having visuals, pictures for them to remember the rules are very helpful for children. That's what they need, is they need to see some picture cues. And then here are some songs, maybe a way in which they can choose which songs they're going to sing today. And this is a way to participate in group music time. We're going to watch a video, and tell us as you're watching these. We're going to actually watch 2 of them. And while watching the videos, you should look for child engagement and notice the strategies that the teacher uses to support child engagement. So think about that. And then you're going to have a discussion forum on these 2 videos as well.
I'm going to read it to you and show you what it says, and then we're going to do it all together. It says, dip your pipe and gently blow. Watch the tiny bubble grow. Big and bigger, round and fat, rainbow colored, and then flat. What happened when the bubble went flat? You want to help me say it again?
Yeah.
Do the good. Ready? You ready? Dip your pipe and gently blow. Watch the tiny bubble grow. Big and bigger, round and fat, rainbow colored, and then and pops.
So here is our second video we're going to watch.
3 little fishies. Really fun. You know what I have for you? Can you give everybody, here they are, yeah, please hand everybody a fish. Now let's think. If Laura hands you something, there are some words you could say to her.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Next time, can I read the
Let's see.
Sunday?
Yes, everybody will get a turn. That's why we have our helper chart, so we all get a turn. Okay, that should be enough. Eden said thank you. Oh, and Lexi said thank you.
He's swimming.
We could practice
What do
swimming.
you want? I can swim
Whoopsies.
the whole lake. No, I
There,
can go on
yes.
the slide by myself now.
You can.
Guess what? In the
A lot of friends are saying thank you. That's so kind to say to your friends. And then is there enough for you, Laura?
Thank you.
Great, and I'll take one if there's an extra. Oh, what do your words want to say?
Mr. Cole.
Sure, you can have this one.
Mr. Cole.
My fishie's missing its tail. Well, that's okay.
It's okay.
That's
He
okay.
can still
And Laura,
swim.
would you like to sit down to sing, or would you like to stand next to me?
He can still swim.
Okay, here we go. 3 little fishies swimming in the sea, teasing Mr. Shark. You can't catch me, no, you can't catch me. Along comes Mr. Shark, quiet as can be, and he snatched that fishy right out of that sea.
Mine was hiding.
There's only two. Ready, friends? Two little fishies swimming in the sea, teasing Mr. Shark. You can't catch me, no, you can't catch me. Along comes Mr. Shark, quiet as can be, and he snapped that fishy right out of that sea. There's only one left. Oh, I bet he's lonely. One lonely fish swimming in the sea, teasing Mr. Shark. You can't catch me, no, you can't catch me. Along comes Mr. Shark, quiet as can be, and he snapped that fishy right out of that sea. Laura's showing us how many left. 0 left. Silly shark. Would you like to collect them?
Okay, so what I would like for you to do is in the discussion forum, I would like for you to look at these questions, and they'll be in your discussion forum. So, are the children engaged? And what tells you that they are or are not engaged? Describe what the teacher is doing currently and what she might do to support the children's engagement in the activity. What other strategies could the teacher do to keep the children even more engaged in either of the video clips? So that's what I want you to do in your discussion forum, or answering those questions. And you may go back and watch those videos again just so that you can pick up on some other things that you may not have picked up the first time around. So there is an importance of using small group activities, both in terms of giving more individualized time to children and as an opportunity for skill building. How would we implement some group activities effectively? Well, let's go through some of these. First of all, you can talk about being clear about the purpose and outcomes of the activity. So we need to make sure that we are clear about the purpose and outcomes. What is it you want children to learn? And are you structuring the activity so that it meets the needs of all of the children involved, even those that might be linguistically diverse, or what about those that have some disabilities of some kind? Although small group activities are often more teacher-directed, they do not have to be didactic. They can involve games, stories, discussion, projects, so many other things. Secondly, small groups also provide a great opportunity to use peers as models. One peer can model a skill or behavior you're trying to teach to another child. Thirdly, it's important to ensure that all children participate in a way that is meaningful and relevant to their goals and needs individually. And then last, provide descriptive feedback related to appropriate behavior to children throughout the activity. We are always wanting to give good feedback to the children. Remember those love banks that we talked about at the beginning? We want to continue to do that throughout every kind of activity we're doing with children. So we're going to conclude for now, and then next time we're going to talk about giving directions and teaching classroom rules.